Okay, so we got a new project we're gonna work on. We got a customer that wants a drive shaft for Land Rover for a Defender 90 project that he's working on. And so we're gonna make him a couple drive shafts for that project. He's running the Model 3 motor the same way we are in the Jeep. And the Model 3 motor, the same way it's oriented in the Jeep, is a really good use or a really good fit for a lot of the Defender or Land Rover projects. Especially because of the way that the drive shafts and the pumpkins are arranged in that car. It just works out on the right side of the vehicle, and it's just a really good fit for the Defender for a number of reasons. Anyways, we made the custom drive shafts for the Jeep, and we have available drive shaft adapters, and we also for currently we offer custom drive shafts. So we're gonna go ahead and make a set for this gentleman. And the first step in that is we're gonna go ahead and make a little fixture so he can check the proper lengths of these drive shafts. That's one thing with this style drive shaft. It's pretty critical to get the length just right. And then we ordered up a replacement kind of yoke flange from Tom Wood's drive shaft, and this should bolt right onto the Defender to the Defender axles. So that has the right bolt pattern, or it should have the right bolt pattern for the Defender axles. And then we have our Spicer double cardan CV. This super high quality double cardan CV. This is the 1310 series. So this is the exact part number that we used on the Jeep. But on the Jeep, it goes right to a yoke that comes off the axle, the Dana 44 axle. But on the Land Rover stuff, it needs this style bolt pattern. So the first thing we need to do is replace this part of the assembly with the Land Rover style flange yoke. So we have this this ball joint service tool. And so we'll just use this to press on here to take this apart. So we're over here on the manual lathe. This is one of my favorite kind of tools I never knew existed, or kind of attachments for the manual lathe. By the way, the manual lathe, amazing tool. When this first got installed here, we have the CNC mill over there, and I was like, when are we going to use an old manual lathe? But I use this almost every day when I'm working on a project in here. And so this attachment is a pretty cool attachment that I learned about only a couple years ago. So when you're cutting longer tubing that's larger than the through bore diameter, it kind of comes out here and supports the material. So that's super nice. Okay, so after all that tedious work, finally we get to the two funnest parts of the day. We're gonna assemble all the Lego pieces, but first we gotta use a little fire. So, we're gonna heat up the aluminum. The aluminum's gonna have a lot higher coefficient of expansion. So on the actual drive shaft, of course, we're gonna use steel. Okay, so we have the two halves of the fixture now. And this one might be a little confusing, but let me just show you. This is the tripod CV that was pressed off of, or kind of just slides right off of the factory Model 3 half axles. So if you have the half axles that came with your Model 3 drive unit, or if you buy some off eBay, if you take apart the side that faces the motor, you'll be able to remove a little C-clip, and then this will slide right off. Okay, so we finished up the fixture or the measurement tool. One more thing we want to do on this before we ship it out to the customer for checking his application is we want to engrave some measurement marks on here. But besides that, the fixture is good to go. Again, this is going to allow the customer to install it in his application. This will go right to his Land Rover axles, and this will go right to the Model 3 motor. This drive shaft is a true Model 3 adapter. The drive shaft itself is the adapter. I want to, compare that to some other ways to adapt the Model 3 drive unit that other people approach that other people have taken, where there's an adapter on the Model 3 drive unit. So the Model 3 drive unit factory kind of CV stub shaft is replaced by an adapter, and then they use like a typical or a more common drive shaft. The way that we do it, the drive shaft itself is the adapter. So we're going to ship this to the customer. The customer is going to be able to adjust this. We put this nice flat on here. We put some set screws in here. Everything is just going to work super nice, super rigid, and they can just, adjust it to the optimal length, and really in the application with the driveline angles that they're working with and the positions of all the components they're working with, find the optimal length, and then after we get those numbers back, we can make the final drive shaft. Obviously this is just a fixture, so this middle section is aluminum. On the final drive shaft that we make for the customer, this will be 2-inch OD DON tubing, 120 wall. So it's just going to be a really nice performing, really robust, strong drive shaft. Thank you for tuning in. We got a little bit more work to do before we ship this off to the customer, but don't forget to like, please subscribe. I think you're going to like a lot of the projects that we have coming up, and even if you're not particularly interested in electric conversions, we try to always show the work that we're doing around the shop. So even fabrication, machining, things like that might be of interest to different people. I hope there's something that everyone can learn from each episode. So thank you for tuning in.